Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 17th. Happy birthday, Pisces, to all you early Pisces out there. You have this Ears Wide Open card and this Storyteller card coming up in your first row for your current general energies. So it's clearly a time to listen to the story that you are telling yourself. The Storyteller card is all about the words that you use against yourself or on yourself. It looks pretty good, I would say. So, this would represent speaking positively about yourself, of course. Now, you do have the Empress, and the Empress is a card of self-care. And self-care includes using good words about yourself, talking about yourself in the positive, which, as a Pisces, I totally get it. Pisces has a problem speaking positively about themselves. So I would make sure to keep it positive. Everything that the stories that you're telling, all that other stuff, right? And speak positively because that will be the best for you. That Ears Wide Open card, it kind of always says to me that you need to listen to what's not being said, or you need to read between the lines this week. And this is a very good reading. Damn. This is very good, Pisces, and it kind of makes sense. It's your birth week, right? And also, there's just a lot of good stuff coming up here. But I would listen to what is not being said. It's Pisces is very intuitive. Pisces picks up on things that other people don't pick up on, and you never know what kind of opportunities you could be getting by, paying attention at work or in business or love or whatever, and you hear something that kind of jumps out at you. I would pay attention. You have the Six of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Empress. This is definitely something new that's starting in your life, or you're being prepared for a new journey in your life. You have the Knight of Wands, you have the Page of Wands, the Three of Wands, you have this card, you have the Eight of Cups, and the good stuff. I mean, putting it all together, you're clearly moving towards something new, and I just feel this is you kind of creating more balance. I also get a sense of, I call it pissed off for greatness. I think it's Les Brown that says pissed off for greatness, right? And that's sometimes how I feel about, a reading like this, where it's like you just can't take it anymore, and you have to do something to improve your life, which I think it's a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. So I definitely encourage that motivated energy. And you have a lot of fire in this reading. You have the Knight of Wands, the Emperor, you have the King of Wands. So I feel that you could be feeling very kind of fired up and motivated this week, and I would just use the energy to, expand with the Three of Wands. You have the Empress, the Star, and the Sun. Having all three in a reading, to me, is definitely glow up energy. So, there could be a little bit of a glow up. Makes sense. Venus in your sign. Venus will be moving into your sign, or it is in your sign, or whatever. And I feel that Venus in your sign could definitely make you kind of glow up. Venus will also be retrograding back into your sign later on. So you're kind of getting a double whammy when it comes to that Venus energy. And so, again, that will be very good for you, even though, it will be retrograding. Again, I think that, once it starts moving forward again, it'll be in Pisces for a little while. And, that extra Venus energy could be very beneficial. It would be a good time to get attention. Now, during Venus retrograde, people say, don't make changes to your appearance and things like that. But, it could be a good time for you to think about the changes. And, before the retrograde, you could also make those changes. After the retrograde, you can make those changes. But, I feel for a lot of you, there's definitely a lot of desire in this reading. You have the Empress. Like I said, I was getting definite self-care here for you, taking care of yourself, but also mostly with your words that you use on yourself. I would be speaking positively. Definitely a good love reading if you want love, and it is a good time for love for Pisces. I mean, again, Venus in your sign. You have the Two of Cups. You have the Emperor. The Empress and the Emperor can be divine counterparts. So if you're looking for love, definitely could be a new connection coming in for you. But we'll see what comes up here just in general. I see some stretching here. We have the Three of Wands. And, we'll talk about that when we get there. But you have, with the Six of Pentacles, you have the King of Swords. I've definitely said this to you before. It's a lot. I mean, you're a Pisces. You know everything, right? And the King of Swords knows a lot, but he needs to use it. He needs to use what he knows. And, as I've said to you for the past few weeks, I really get this feeling of Pisces needs to realize that your results are not going to be like someone else's. If you are comparing yourself, which I've said to you, and again, there's a big reason for this. There's, astrology that I feel could be making you compare yourself to other people. But again, if you're doing that, I feel you're slowing yourself down. So I would be, putting things into practice. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Nine of Cups. Definitely could be wish fulfillment. You have this, you have the star, the sun, very positive. This could say you are more focused on your own fulfillment as well. And like I was saying, like pissed off for greatness type energy. It's like, but in a good way. I feel like you're saying, this is the life I want and I'm going and getting it, right? And so very motivated energy, like I said. With the Empress, you have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands says, do not give up. Keep pushing. I don't think you would give up. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, but he's trying something one last time. So it would be a good time to try something again. And we have the Wheel of Fortune right here. So, this could be you trying love again. Obviously, we're not talking about a past person here. We're just talking about trying to date again or meet a new person. I also feel this could be like something that does have to do with attention. We have so much attention in this reading. Empress, Sun, and the Star. These are all amazing cards for getting as much attention as you possibly can. So you could be getting attention on your business, your career, your whatever, and I would definitely work on that. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Delicate Rose card. It says, be willing to say what you feel, no matter how terrifying it may seem. You have this Divine Intervention card. It says, angels are working behind the scenes to assist you in the miracles you've requested. Definitely a good reading for miracles as well. I definitely feel you need to be honest with yourself. And again, speak up to yourself. Like I said, with that Delicate Rose card, make sure you speak positive words about yourself. You have the Page of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. So definitely could be love entering into your life. It could be any sign. You do have a lot of fire here, but I feel that it could just be a fiery person or a person who's definitely attracted to you because you have pretty much every single card of attraction here. So, if you are attracting a person, it doesn't have to be a fire sign. It could just be a lot of desire and the connection. The Page of Wands would also represent a new adventure, new journey. Same with the Knight of Wands. You have a lot of these cards that would say that you are kind of like starting a new adventure in your life. I do feel, if you are starting a new adventure, it's probably work or business related. It could be something expansive, right? With the Three of Wands, which kind of makes sense. We still have Jupiter and Gemini in your fourth house. So wouldn't surprise me if some of you are moving. I moved right at the beginning of Jupiter and Gemini, right, to here. And so, again, I think a lot of Pisces could be moving. And again, you don't necessarily have to move. You could just be making positive changes to where you live currently. You could be updating your home, all those things. You could also just be going on adventures, trying new things. You have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is a perfect match. Now, the Two of Cups usually starts with communication, and so there definitely could be communication with a person this week if you are looking for love. And again, now is a pretty good time for love for Pisces. Even though what I would say is, even though Venus is going retrograde, I always encourage people to date during retrogrades because it's like, number one, what's meant for you will never pass you by. I truly believe that. It's like, just because it's retrograde, it's like the universe is going to be like, oh, this person that was supposed to marry Pisces, they dated during retrograde, it's not going to work. That doesn't happen, number one. Number two, what I would say is if it survives the retrograde, it can pretty much survive anything. So, I encourage people to date during these times, but just, take your time. There's no reason to rush, right, during a retrograde. Pay attention. Keep your ears wide open, as that ears wide open card says, and you will be fine. But definitely could be, a good relationship. And again, if you're starting it before the retrograde, because we're not even at the retrograde yet, then you'll be fine. You have the Wheel of Fortune. Definitely some sort of change in your fortunes here. Again, this is probably a better reading than I've done for you in a while. Not that your readings have been bad, but like your last one, or maybe the one before that was, just some things were popping up there, right? It wasn't a bad reading. It was just, kind of dealing with some stuff. And, this could say that this is like a turning point for you. And that's more of the feeling I'm getting with the Wheel of Fortune, that like this week could be a turning point. I'm not saying things are going to be perfect, but, you are probably noticing the improvements. With the Page of Wands, what do you know? You have the Star here. We have the Star twice going this way. Definitely a very good reading with the Star twice. The Star is like having a North Star. This kind of gives me vibes of just getting answers. Like the Star, I'm going to show you on the big version. It's just easier to see. But, that big star there is like your North Star, having that one guiding light, that one thing that you work towards. I feel Pisces has felt lost over the past few years about like what to do in life in general. And with that Page of Wands and the Three of Wands and the Knight of Wands, this could be saying that you are finally understanding like what your purpose almost, or I don't necessarily think it's your purpose, but it's almost like this could be something that is giving you purpose, an idea that you're meant to work on, a business you're meant to create, whatever it is. With the Two of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So it could be another water sign, or fire with water, water with fire, whatever. The Three of Pentacles I really like for love because it's like two people who are working towards the same thing. The Three of Pentacles is a shared vision. So you could be attracting a person where it's like, I'm not saying you're exactly the same as this person, but you might have similar goals or similar ideas of, what a connection looks like or what you want to work towards in life. And just a very good card for it. The King of Cups would be also an emotional connection. So I do like readings that have like multiple kings and queens in them for love because it kind of suggests that the energy is more balanced, in my head. Because it's like, if you just attracted a King of Wands, for example, or whatever gender you're into, doesn't matter, that, it's like maybe it would just be a fiery connection, but, is there more? And, the King of Cups would kind of say there is more in this connection. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Knight of Swords. Yes, do not get scared, number one. I feel Pisces is meant to work towards things that are bigger than themselves. Three of Wands. Three of Wands says you are being faced with something that is bigger than you, right? And the Knight of Swords, I'm going to show you here. Sometimes I feel like he gets to a point in the reading and he runs away. And so the Knight of Swords with this Three of Wands kind of says that you are being faced with an opportunity that is going to require expansion. So expansion requires learning, strengthening your skills, becoming stronger as a person, having confidence, King of Wands, all that other stuff. So this to me is really saying that, you could be getting an opportunity, and it could be like work, business, your star, your North Star. And, the Knight of Swords basically says like, don't get scared if there are things you don't know. Don't get scared if you don't know what your next step should be. Just push through it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Enlightenment card and this Potential card. Yeah, potential is only potential. Potential means nothing. So there's clearly an opportunity before you that has a lot of potential. And, isn't it funny? You have that Enlightenment card. There's a big ass mountain on this Potential card, and it's like a lot of ancient traditions say that you have, that these like monks and things like that have to climb to the top of the mountain to gain enlightenment, right? So it's like you have to kind of like embrace some sort of big journey for yourself so that you can gain enlightenment or get to the top of the mountain, and that's definitely what I would do with those two cards. You have the Three of Wands, King of Wands, and the Emperor. Three of Wands is a card of expansion, like we already said, but he has these boats in front of him here, so he sees the opportunity, but he needs to take the opportunity. He needs to get on those boats and, go on the adventure, and that's definitely what I would do with the Three of Wands. The King of Wands and the Emperor, if we pretend that those cards are not having to do with love, they're both very bold, assertive, take control type of energies, and I definitely feel that for you, where if you are getting a new opportunity or, if you're working on a new project, being bold, assertive, really going for it is going to be important. The King of Wands is the true like visionary in the deck. He kind of has these futuristic visionary ideas, and that could be why it's a little bit scary with the Knight of Swords. If you have a idea to do something that's never been done before, that could be a little scary because you don't know what's going to happen. But the King of Wands, he would go for it anyway. So definitely a good time for you to be bold, be assertive, really go for what you want. You have the Emperor. Definitely could be attracting an Emperor and Empress. The Emperor is also about taking advantage of opportunity when it presents itself. He is sitting here on his throne, and he has his armor on underneath his cloak. And it says that he is ready to go at a moment's notice. He is sitting on his throne, but, he's ready to go when an opportunity presents itself. And there clearly could be some sort of really solid opportunity for you this week. But, and you have that Potential card that has a lot of potential, but I would take it. Let's see. With the Three of Wands, you have the Queen of Swords here. Queen of Swords is seeing clearly for the first time. Like, we have the Queen of Swords, and she's going in this direction towards the sun. And so this would represent great clarity. Her back is to the past, and she is kind of just focusing forward into the future. And so clearly being more forward focused would be a good idea. Damn. With the King of Wands, you have the Empress. Very good reading. Whenever we have all these repeating cards like we do here, repeating cards are basically the universe saying I meant what I said. I like readings with a lot of repeating cards. It really doesn't happen that often that readings have a ton of repeating cards, but it's basically confirmation for your path or confirmation for whatever you're doing right now. And here you go. With the Emperor, you have the Queen of Cups. So we have all this crazy-ass divine counterpart energy going on here. And so there definitely could be a very strong divine counterpart for those of you that are looking for love. Now, what I would say is you're going to have to get attention. You have the Sun, you have the Star twice, the Empress is a card of attention as well. And this would represent needing to stand out. So no one can see you when you are at home and hiding in your Pisces cave, right? I used to go out with this girl, not dating, she was a friend, right? We used to go out with this girl, and we used to bust her balls all the time because we would go out. She would constantly complain about how no one would approach her, to be her boyfriend, right? But she used to go out with us. She would hide in the corner, and she would pull her hat over her face, and it's no one can see you. No one knows that you exist here in the corner with your hat pulled over your eyes. No one even knows you exist. So, again, you have to do things to get attention. In the outcome row here, you have this research card. It says, before you make your next move, it's important to do some exploratory research so that you know all the possible paths that you can take. I feel you have done a lot of research. King of Swords. It's you have done a lot of things to know what to do, and it's now you know what to do, but you have to prove it, is what this reading is saying to me. You have this Innovate card. It says, with the right inspiration, you can bring a novel approach to almost anything. We talked about this, basically. What can you innovate to contribute towards making the world a better place? Yes, we talked about visionary ideas with the King of Wands. You have this Focus card. It's difficult to be productive when your energy is scattered in so many directions. Star says, pick one thing and make it happen. So focus is clearly important. Queen of Swords as well. She has to be very focused on one thing. And so what should you focus on? You should focus on the Sun. The Sun, this is coming up in the area of the good stuff. The Sun is your attention. The Sun makes the whole entire reading more positive, and it's a very good card, but I always say that the Sun is like a spotlight in the reading. It is shining a light on something, and usually it's your attention. So, throughout the day, what random thoughts pop into your head? Or do you have random daydreams and thoughts about something you want to accomplish, or, a dream that you have? That's what you should be working on with the Sun. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. And so, I think that you're past, since before COVID-ish, 2018, somewhere around there. You've probably been learning what you want, what you don't want out of all areas of your life. And, you've done the work, and now you can walk towards fulfillment. So in the good stuff, number one, I think the Eight of Cups is a good card anyway, because he's decided that he's not going to settle. But, again, I think that a lot of you are kind of working towards good things. You have the Star. And again, the Star is a card of hope, faith, renewal. Also, on top of all that, again, with the Star twice and the Empress twice, definitely would be a very good week for you to focus on self-care, kind of renewing yourself, protecting your energy, all that other stuff. And that's what I would pay attention to there. With the Sun, you have the Death card. Definitely a transformation. The Sun is coming up between the two pillars on the moon, right here on the Death card. So the Death card can represent kind of entering into a Sun period, which is a period of clarity and knowing what to do next, which we kind of said earlier. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Judgment card. Oh, how crazy is that, Pisces? I literally said that something about your purpose earlier, and I was the Star is kind of giving me this vibe of your purpose, and the Judgment card is your purpose. So you could be walking, with that Eight of Cups, you could be discovering your true purpose, or, what you really want to get out of life, and obviously that would be very good. With the Star, you have the Lovers. Yes. So we have all this love stuff going on here. It makes sense because, like I said, it's a good time, I feel, for love. It's it's kind of weird because it's a good, bad time for love. There is some stuff going on that kind of makes me think that you should take your time, as I already said. But, I would just take your time. Let's put it that way. You have this September card, and you have this goldfish card. It says increase in material wealth and spiritual growth. Yes, I mean, the whole entire reading looks very good for increasing wealth. And you have the September card, so like whatever you're working on between now and September, September could be this like peak for you where you really step into the true abundance. But again, that does not mean that you're not going to experience abundance now. You even have this beetle card that says good fortune on it. So there clearly could be good fortunes coming in for you, or you could be feeling more fortunate at this time. Next, you have this dagger that says fears, worries, tense situation. One thing I will say about the reading is you have the King and Queen of Swords. I do not like the King and Queen of Swords together. They're like two people who don't see eye to eye. And again, Venus retrograde in Pisces. Even though we're not there yet, still it's going to happen soon enough. And I would be careful of past people. You have this Ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. Again, I think Pisces needs to put themselves first. I'm pretty sure I've said this to you before, but as Pisces glows more, there are going to be more people who want your time, and there are going to be people who maybe like try to force you to work with them or try to get you to do things for them. And I would just be careful of that energy. You also have this pig card that says beware of greed. I mean, I think this is true for everyone. The problem is we still have Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus and Taurus hates like get rich quick. I've been saying this since 2016, like no get rich quick schemes, especially for Pisces right now. No new crypto coin, no investing in what your cousin told you to invest in. Be very careful of that stuff. It's, if someone tells you you're going to make $1 million overnight, probably not true, right? So I would be careful of that energy. But this is one heck of a reading. I love this. Damn, really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.